Fishing is a huge part of our culture here in Florida. I've been an avid angler ever since my first cast more than 15 years ago. Like many other Floridian anglers, I started out by fishing for largemouth bass in my neighborhood's ponds. One of the first rigs that I learned how to make and use was the Texas rig, which I have since used to catch countless largemouth bass. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make your very own Texas rig so you can enjoy the amazing fishing that Florida has to offer. First, I'm going to show you the items and materials that you need to make your rig. Then I will be showing you how to put your rig together. And finally, I will explain how to attach your soft plastic lure to your rig so that you are ready to hit the ponds.
Before we start constructing our rig, there are a couple of things that we need to have. First, we want to have our fishing permit. Since largemouth bass are a freshwater species, we want to make sure we have our freshwater fishing permit, and you can get one of these by visiting GoOutdoorsFlorida.com. Next, we need our bullet weight. For bass fishing, you want to weight between 1/8 and 1/4 ounce. 1/4 ounce if you're fishing in deeper waters, and 1/8 ounce if you're fishing in shallower waters. Now we need to select our hook. For the Texas rig, we want an EWG hook, which stands for extra wide gap. We want either a 3/0 or a 4/0 hook. So the 3/0 is the smaller one that you were seeing, and the 4/0 is the larger one. If you know you are going to be in a spot where the bass are smaller, you may want the 3/0, and if you are unsure or you think there may be larger bass, the 4/0 is always a safe bet, and that is my go-to. Now it is time to pick the soft plastic lure that we will be attaching to our rig. As you can see, these lures come in all different shapes and sizes. Ideally, you want to pick something that the bass might be feeding on in the specific pond that you are fishing. This can be other small fish, crayfish, lizards, etc. You want to pick something that represents that. But since bass are opportunistic eaters, they will go for pretty much everything. In my experience, a lure that mimics a worm like this, which we also call a stick bait, is always a good option. Now it is time to actually assemble our rig. First, we're going to take the tag end of our line, which is the very end of the line that is attached to our rod and reel, and we are going to take our bullet weight and feed our line through the pointy end of the weight. The weight is supposed to be able to move freely up and down the line, so we won't be doing anything to secure this weight. Now it is time to attach our hook to our line. To do this, we are going to use the Palomar knot. This is one of the strongest knots in all of fishing and very easy too. To do this knot, we are going to feed the tag end of our line, which is the very end, through the eye of the hook and then feed it back through the same eye. This will create a loop on one end and the line will be doubled over on the other end. From here, we are going to take our loop and use it to tie an overhand knot. To do this, we are going to pass our loop behind our doubled over line, and then we are going to pull it through the hole that we just made. Now we want to tighten down our overhand knot. As we can see here, we have a loop on one end and our doubled over line on the other end. Now we want to take our hook and we want to feed it through the loop that we just made. The final step to this knot is to simply tighten it down. All we have to do is to pull our main line and the tag end, and this will tighten the knot down. Our knot is now complete, but we have some leftover line that we have to remove. We're going to take this tag end, which does not attach back to our rod and reel, and we're going to use some scissors to cut it off. The base of our Texas rig is now complete. We have a hook attached to the line and a weight that moves freely just above it. Our final step is to attach our soft plastic lure to our hook. To do this, we are going to take the point of the hook and we are going to feed it through the top of our soft plastic lure. We're going to feed it through about 1/4 inch. Now we want to pierce the hook through the lure by moving the lure away from our hook and keep moving it down the hook. Then we're going to move our worm up the shank of the hook. We want our lure to rest right at the eye of the hook, or where our knot is. And to do this, we are going to twist the lure 180 degrees and keep pulling it until it covers that part. After this, we need to attach the body of the lure to the hook. To do this, I'm going to see where the bottom of the hook lies in relation to our lure. I'm going to mark it with my thumb and pierce the hook through that point. Your Texas rig is now complete.
Now you know how to make your very own Texas rig. First, I showed you the items that you needed to make your rig, then I showed you how to put it all together, and finally, I explained how to attach your soft plastic lure to your rig. By following these steps, you are ready for a day out on the pond, and I hope you catch the big ones.